We're going to talk a little bit today about skipping docks. You know, I get a lot of people that ride in the boat with me, and, you know, you pull up to a dock and you skip under it and they're amazed by it. And, you know, it's not that hard of a thing. They ask how to do it. They think it's some kind of special thing. Well, it takes a lot of practice. So the first tip I'm going to give you is go to Walmart and buy you the cheapest line that you could possibly buy. And spool it up, because you're going to get a backlash. I can tell you that now. I don't care. Even I do it. And I've been doing it for years and years and years. But the first time when you're trying to learn, you're going to mess up a lot of reels. So buy you some cheap line. But your rod and your reel is really the key to it. You want to start with I like a 7-foot medium heavy rod. It's got a good tip, good soft tip. That helps you get the momentum. If you get a real stiff rod, you know, the rod doesn't help you much as far as your cast, so you're trying to overpower it, and that's something that you don't want to do. You use the rod, the medium heavy tip, you know, you got a little tip, let the rod work for you. You don't have to work yourself. But what I'm trying to tell you is you're not forcing that jig under that dock. You're just kind of making a nonchalant cast, roll of the wrist, and let the jig and the rod do the work for you. You don't want to tighten your reel down real tight, because I mean that's the first thing people want to do. If they backlash, they want to tighten the reel on down. That is the worst thing you can do, because then that makes you force the jig under there as well. You want it to be just a smooth, fluid motion, and you don't even have to get around a dock to begin with to figure out how to make your jig skip. You know, just get the fluid motion, just a side arm roll cast, and make that jig skip, and then you can start dialing in on how to hit the target and make it skip under something. But I can tell you, first thing, if you try to overpower, I mean, you know, you're going to shoot that jig under there, you'll backlash every time. So just remember, a medium heavy 7-foot rod, the shorter the rod, the easier it is to control. The reel, I like a 7:3-to-1 gear ratio, but whatever reel that you want to use, some guys like high speed, some guys don't, but I'm just telling you, the way you dial it in, make it as loose as you can possibly cast it, because that allows you to make just a fluid motion. You're not forcing it, and just get it to where you can skip it to begin with, and then start trying to hit your targets and actually skip it under something. The easiest jig for you to learn how to skip, trailer wise, is, you know, you've got two types. There's a thread-on trailer, which is what you see here. You know, you thread it all the way up on the shank of the hook, or you got your hang-ons, which is a chunk. You know, that's a lot of moving parts on this one. It's a lot harder to skip. So when you're starting out, you know, this is a Zoom Fat Albert twin tail grub. It threads up on there, no moving parts. So when you get that skip down, the momentum, there's nothing to stop it. And then that's when you can start trying to learn how to target, skip it further, and all that stuff. Well, your jig is another important thing. The skirt, you know, there's hand-tied skirts, and you've got banded skirts. And what I mean by banded is rubber band. They're just put on with a rubber band. If you use a rubber band, the force of that jig skipping across the water, it's going to make your whole skirt come down, ball up. It's no good. You really want to try to start using a hand-tied jig. This is a Knight's Lures Dock Buster Jig. It's my signature series. It's something that I've used for a long, long time. But hand-tied, you can skip this thing all day long. Now, you may pull the bristles out of your skirt or cut them off beating and bamming on the dock, but it will never slide down. And that's the easiest way for me to explain to you the trailer attached, thread up on the hook, no moving parts, hand-tied skirt so you don't get any slip downs, and that's the easiest way for me to tell you how to learn to skip a jig.